Hello, my dear friends, lovely audiences. Welcome to the show. Jack is my name. East West is the show. G&E TV. Yes. For quite some time, people are worried and getting more and more daily more worried about the North Korea situation. The nuclear test been done again and again and again. They fire shots after shots after shots of the nuclear missiles. And the last one they did was a week and a half ago. Was reported said to be able to reach as far as Chicago, our land. That gets everybody agitated. In the White House, there's lots of words about it. Donald Trump 2 days ago made a little statement saying that gonna do something that you have never seen before, something like that. I don't know. To get to the point, I have invited my good friend, famous director of Hollywood. The reason I have invited him was because he had himself involved with lots of war films. Right? Talking about film about wars is one thing. Talking about real war is the other. So I'm saying, what I'm saying is that to find a way how we can deal with, how are we going to deal with North Korea with a situation like that. So to my friend Chris Nebe, I want to give him a very warm welcome.
谢谢你老朋友.
Good. That's very good. That's good. Yeah, that's
even better, right?
That's even better
That's
Chinese. All right, good. Okay, now, basically, what you know as a bystander, I call you bystander, what's going on with North Korea?
Since the beginning of time, the rulers have ruled the ruled. And the masses have been ruled by people who controlled them. And they always control them by fear and violence. So, here's a perfect example. America is, as we both know, morally and financially bankrupt. They need to scare their people into a possible attack from somebody, in this case it's North Korea, in order to keep the relatively uneducated, unsophisticated, and uninformed American public concentrating on fear rather than on the fact that the country here needs a lot of changes. So this has been going on since a long time. Since the Korean War, the Kim family, the ruling family, has controlled their people, but with fear that somebody will attack them, and that has given this dictatorship family the power to control 26 million North Koreans, while the Americans have supported South Korea, which has 51 million inhabitants and is economically a very successful country, while North Korea is basically a failed state, and all they have is control their people with fear. They are never going to attack America, never ever, because you see, doing that would be the kiss of death of not only 26 million North Koreans, but also 51 million South Koreans. This is why for years and decades they have been able, the same thing has been going on. This is nothing new. It has been going on with the grandfather of Kim Jong-un, with his father, and now with him. It's a joke, actually. It's a joke. It's a game of fear played by both parties.
I disagree with you.
I know that.
I disagree. I mean, partially, not totally. I do agree with you with the part that the Kim family, the dictatorship family, Kim, right? from the grandfather to the grandson, all the way, they have been running the country by adopting the fear policy that creates the fear, oppression, fear, and a blockage of all information. So people do believe that everybody wants to kill them. So they got their vigilance. They spend every penny they have on military, right?
Right.
That is the part I agree with you. And the part I do not agree with you, when you say it is America who created the situation, saying that North Korea is attacking us or could attack us. It is not what they said. It is on the news, it is everywhere. And you check with the British news press, you check with the German news press, you check with Japan news press. Everybody says the same thing, gives the same news report, right? And they file launch after launch after launch of their nuclear head missiles, all right? And that was the fact, that they were facts, okay? The fact was that with the range that long, that was as long as to could be able to reach Chicago, that's really devastating.
So what?
So I want to clarify, it is not a United States created situation. It is North Korea dragged us into the situation.
No, but you see, North Korea is actually playing into the hands of America because the military-industrial complex in America needs war and needs to create the impression that America is in danger. It's not. They will never, I can tell you, they will neither send a missile to Guam, nor will they send a missile to Chicago, because this is suicide. And this young man in North Korea realizes it.
He's ready to die.
He's not. Nobody.
And look at their propaganda.
Yeah,
and
that's
the
what it is,
propaganda in North Korea is all over North Korea. Is talking about the U.S. being their enemies. U.S. want to kill them every single day.
Right. And here they say North Korea is the enemy. It's a game of fear. Nothing is going to happen. Only the Kim family is going to further entrench their position. And here also the military-industrial complex gets what it wants, namely to prepare people for some kind of war, because they do need war. The deep state, it's not Mr. Trump who rules this country. These are other people.
In other words, in your opinion, you want to let them do what they want to do?
Let them do. They don't know nothing.
What if they really send a nuclear missile to us?
Okay, if they send a nuclear missile here, immediately another missile goes there, only with one difference. First of all, I doubt whether they can reach Chicago. Secondly, one thing is for sure, that America is in South Korea. And I don't know if you realize that Seoul, the capital of South Korea, is only 195 kilometers, that is 121 miles away from Pyongyang, the capital of North Korea. With other words, if you strike North Korea, you at the same time destroy South Korea.
Well, we have better ways to do.
No, because
we
if
might
you
have better
a
ways to
nuclear
do.
attack on that country, you are destroying both.
Yeah, nuclear attack. Okay, now once again, I mean, let's take care of it one by one, right? Part by part. You're talking about retaliation.
Right.
You let them fire the first shot, and then we retaliate, and the second missile will be ours, going to them.
Yes.
Right? All right, to bomb them. I'm talking about atrocity. Somebody has to die. If the United States is hit for the first time, somebody has to die. My point is that how we want to do something to prevent that from happening. right? So,
I think, you see, this is just the result of many years' wrong policies. If that would be, I'm sure that along the way there would have been a diplomatic solution. If you keep oppressing, because with the sanctions which are imposed on North Korea, it's very easy for Kim Jong-un to blame the whole world because he is the victim. So he has 26 million inhabitants behind him because they see they have no food, they have no this, they have no that. While on the other side,
they may claim that way, but there are way out offered to them. You stop your nuclear programs. Here's the money. Here's the food. Here's everything. Here's the milk and the bread.
Right. Okay.
It is them. It is them, the dictators, who chose to to suppress the people, continue doing what they want to do. Let's take a short moment now. My dear friends, today with my good friend Chris Neby, for the first time, he and I seem to have reached the impasse that we do not agree to each other. I don't agree with the fact that the United States want to create a situation that we are attacked by North Korean. It is them who are preparing step by step doing that. So stay with us. We'll be right back, please. Hello, my lovely friends, my dear audiences. Welcome back to the discussion. And it's the first time I get myself involved in war discussion. Back then, many years ago, I talked about Iraq War, Afghanistan War. Those are the wars that happened already. We're commenting on the existing wars. But for this one, we're talking about a situation that might lead into war. That is North Korea situation. Launch after launch after launch of their missiles, we kind of brought ourselves to an elevation that we might want to do something. Even President Donald Trump said 2 days ago that if we do not stop what you're doing, you're going to see something you've never seen before. So I believe there are lots of hidden words behind it. So today, to get to the point, I raise a question of how we are dealing, or we are going to deal with North Korea. That is subject of today's discussion. With me is my good friend, Chris Neby, famous director of Hollywood. He is a multi-times award-winning director for his 18, now 19 films series for Mysterious China, in which he involved himself in several of war movies. For those, he went into lots of archives and dug out some information never seen before, even though publicly available, I mean, never seen before. And thank you for your contribution to civilization. All right. For this part, once again, welcome back to this discussion to argue with me.
No problem.
Okay. Now, you're talking about let them fire the first shot. We retaliate. We can retaliate 100 times. That I do not argue. But my point is that we better prevent that first shot from happening. So how can we do that?
26 million North Koreans are not your enemy. There is one man.
They are not if they give up.
No, they are not your enemy. The people are not your enemy. The enemy is one person, a totally misguided man from a dictatorship dynasty who tries to keep in power. So your first and foremost effort should be, and the CIA is doing it all the time, and I do not understand why they have failed.
All right, okay.
And I believe that there's a strategy behind it, because since the beginning of time, the rulers have ruled by fear.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, it would have been very easy if you tomorrow assassinate Kim Jong-un, the North Korea situation is finished because the people of North Korea would like to share the same happiness and prosperity as South Korea.
All right, good. I like that.
This is an artificially created situation. There is a much bigger strategy behind this. I could go into this endlessly. Get the guy shot or killed and everything is fine. There is not one North Korean who will regret if that joker is gone. Believe me.
Kim Jong-un.
Yeah.
All right.
He's a joker.
Okay. All right. What you're saying is that we are capable of doing so.
America is guilty of not having taken out this guy a long time ago.
Of handpicking him.
That's it.
Get him assassinated.
Yes.
To stop the whole thing.
Yes.
All right. So you mean technically and militarily we can do that?
No, I mean they have done that.
We did that with Osama bin Laden.
Not only that, you did it in Chile. You did it. There are numerous places where the CIA was behind replacement of leadership in a country, and some of them were democracies. Here it's very simple. I guarantee you, 26 million North Koreans will be relieved if this Satan is gone.
But I believe 100% of them are brainwashed already. They believe that the Kim Jong-un is the son, is the father. And there was even songs about without you I will die.
Yes, but you see, that's all propaganda. The fact is, the people are very well aware of what goes on in South Korea. And the problem is, you see, geographically, and that's why nobody in the past has attacked North Korea, because this is not the first time that you have threats. This has been going on ever since the armistice agreement and the establishment of the DMZ, the military demilitarized zone. Do you realize that Seoul, the capital of South Korea, is only
195,
is only 35 miles away from the DMZ. That's 15 kilometers. And I don't know if the geography is like this. You see, the north is overlooking the south at the DMZ. With other words, the artillery of the North Korea can shoot downwards into South Korea. So whatever you do by attacking North Korea, indirectly you're destroying South Korea at the same time. This is the reason why there has been nothing done and why they have let him go and do what he did for so long.
I agree that military attack or massive military attack is not an option.
That's it.
At this very moment,
So-
right?
so
For
what-
that,
yeah.
I have to little insertion. Not only Seoul, not only South Korea, but China, northeast of China.
Yes.
You know that river called the Yalu River?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And across the river, people can hear the other people on the other bank.
Right.
People sing.
Yeah.
On a clear day, you can
Right.
see some ladies washing by the river,
Right.
like that kind, right? So with that close, if some military attack, massive military attack happens, China is affected.
Yes, I have avoided to talk about this because it is affected, and therefore it is also another reason why it would be very unwise to do anything. And I don't care about statements of Mr. Trump, because so far I have not heard one statement which makes sense.
And also, once the war breaks, it's going to create lots of refugees.
And also Japan is involved. The whole thing is very critical.
Japan is water away.
500 kilometers.
500 kilometers is that's not that much like China.
China is directly impacted,
right next to
yes.
each other, looking at each other.
Yeah,
the refugees, a bunch of refugees could influx
Right.
to China almost immediately.
Yeah, Dongbei, the whole area,
northeast,
yeah,
right?
The northeast.
And from a humanity point of view, China has to take it,
Right.
right?
So
If China rejects them, international community will get disgusted. So China had to do what they wanted to do. They didn't want to do.
Right.
So
there's only one solution: kill the guy, because he's nuts. He's not. He's actually. They all have been nuts. They are power-hungry nuts, the whole family, and this has to come to the end.
Well, anyway,
if you cut off the head of the snake, it's finished.
I know. But Kim Jong-un is not himself. He has a bunch of followers, steadfast followers.
Followers because they have fear. Because you know, he killed his uncle, he killed anybody who is not saying yes is being killed. So the thing is, you have here a dictator who has gone nuts and who is, and it shows you one thing, by the way, that the Korean people, as proven in South Korea, are very industrious and very smart, because this totally impoverished nation has been able to build a nuclear arsenal, which is remarkable because they're totally impoverished.
Yeah, technically it's something wonderful. Technically it's something very incredible, yes.
The only way is, Mr. Trump, just send your boys and kill the guy. That's all.
When President Trump says you're going to see something we've never seen before, could that include actions like assassination?
If he is smart, that's what he should do. Okay, let's not talk about President Trump, because that's not the issue here.
No.
Yeah.
Here's the issue. Here's the part of the issue. It all depends how he takes it. And then a report sent to Congress approval. There could be war, there could be assassination, there could be, well, we fired the first shot.
Jack, follow the money. There is no benefit for the military-industrial complex to make war with North Korea. There is no benefit, because if you do make war with North Korea, you are destroying South Korea and you are endangering part of China.
Yes, exactly.
This not a solution.
Exactly.
This is why this has been going on for over 60 years.
In other word, even President Trump wanted to do to reciprocate the military weapon industry, and he was not likely to wage war because of the fear of the stirring up the whole international situation.
Yeah.
To involve South Korea, to involve China, even hurt Japan. Am I right?
Right.
So, in other words, all fingers point to one thing, that we want to do some assassination.
And Russia is also involved.
Russia,
because even if it's a little distant, Vladivostok is not next to Pyongyang, but it's all an area which is of conflict. And you see, I have been for a long time advocating to stop all this nonsense. America should forget this constant trying to make war, and by constantly making wars, destroying countries. I mean, the Middle East has been destroyed by America. Libya has been destroyed by America. These countries have been totally destroyed. Millions of people have been affected. This is over. China is not interested in making war with nobody. Russia is not interested in making war with nobody. These countries are interested in developing their countries. So the right way to do would be join together, forget this war business.
But China, in the recent UN vote,
yes,
China voted yes to sanction North Korea.
Of course, China has to do this.
And it was for the first time.
No, really?
Yeah.
For the first time?
First time, exactly.
Yeah. You see, they have to do this because it is in their own interest. The future war is finished. You cannot solve problems with war. That's over. That's ancient, stupid action. You can only solve the world's problems which are much greater than war, by Russia and China and America joining hands and profiting from each other.
That sounds a very nice take, very optimistic take, positive. I know. I mean, my dear friends, I'm having the pleasure to discuss some serious matter. I know that's a very serious matter. North Korean situation with my friend Chris Nibby, a famous director from Hollywood, Monterey Hollywood Corporation, credited with a huge monument of 19 films of the mysterious China theory, in which you're talking about Unit 731.
Yes.
Right?
Diaoyu
Diaoyu Island, Tibet,
Burma Road,
Flying Tiger,
war crimes
under the sun.
Yeah.
There are at least 5 wartime movies.
Political motivated and based films about history.
Not a political, historical.
Historical, but politically, because you
politically,
see,
yes, of
their
course,
relevance is still reverberating
with
today.
that much credit, I'm talking about he might be a very knowledgeable man about wars, especially at current time, when given the technology, given the development of economy, and everybody gets some muscles, so everybody has some kind of muscles, so let's see what we can do. So that was a discussion. Okay, let's take a short moment now. When we come back, we will continue, please. Hello, my dear friends, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the discussion about Korea. Korean situation has gone to a certain extent that the whole world is paying attention to, including United States. We are the one on top. I believe that when their ability of launching missiles, nuclear-headed missiles, to reach as far as Chicago, though, we really want to get serious with the situation. With me today in the discussion, to my glory, is my good friend Chris Nibby, a famous director of Hollywood, credited with a monument of lots of success and a multi-award winner for many times, and who I adore a lot. So, all right, you're my friend. That. Very good, very good. I like that. I like that. So. Now, what we're saying is that, number one, from my end, I say let them fire the first shot, and then we retaliate. That's not an option.
No.
Because somebody dies, right?
Right.
Okay, now, and from your end, talking about retaliation or whatsoever, including we fire the first shot, instead of them doing it, we will hurt South Korea, which is only 35 miles away from the DMZ zone, right? DMZ, which is the zone, right? Okay.
Demilitarized zone goes
the
from
demilitarized
across
zone,
the peninsula, and is a 2.5 miles or 5 kilometers wide. It's a no man's land.
And in addition, you're talking about there's only 195 kilometers distance in between Seoul and Pyongyang, right?
195.
So
yes.
That will hurt people of North and South Korea, right? Okay, now, option number 3, that is the second one. I mean, the second one is not an option. Option number 3, assassination.
Yes.
Sounds to be good so far. We can handpick, because we once did it successfully with Osama bin Laden. Why can't we repeat it when do it a second time, right?
Yeah, you can. I mean, today's technology almost makes it impossible for somebody you're looking for to hide. And it can be done, I'm sure.
It can be done.
And I think, you see, the problem is we go back again, somebody is also profiting from always, don't forget one thing. always something is profiting from fear, because you can today only control people by fear.
I know.
And
I know.
you see, with today's media, I don't care what the media says, because the media is all controlled in different ways. There are countries where the media is controlled by the government. There are countries where the media is controlled by others. You remember in Germany, and as a German, I am proud to say that we do have a relatively functioning democracy, because we learned from our terrible mistakes during Nazi Germany times. You remember last year that a journalist who was terminal ill, and he was the editor of a major German newspaper, went public and wrote a book about it, that most of the journalists in Germany are being paid, are receiving money from the CIA to tell the people what America would like the people in Germany to know. Now, this is a fact. The man was terminal ill, and he also, I think, was offered money, or may have even taken money, but because he was terminal ill, he decided to tell the truth.
To break up the ice.
So, I have the feeling that if you want to assassinate, you could have assassinated him a long time. But again, there is somebody profiting from having Kim Jong-un right where he is and doing exactly what he is doing.
Okay, anyway, that could be a fact, because in the international affairs, right?
Yes.
International affairs, you're always talking about use each other.
Right.
Right? So I may use you to reach my enemy. As a matter of fact, you and you're my enemy too.
Right.
Like
Yes,
that. Like that kind. We'll forget that part, not the part of discussion. I'm talking about the fact. If we want to handpick Kim Jong-un, the character, I'm talking about he has lots of followers. I do know that he has some dead fast followers who are willing to die with him, who are so devoted to him that they are willing to die with him. What if you have his head taken off, chopped off, and in the meantime they set fire on the nuclear attack? They push the button.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so, because they are following him, because in a dictatorship, you have two choices. Either you leave the country, or you oppose the dictatorship. That means death.
No, they are not allowed to leave the country.
Okay, they're not allowed to leave the country.
No.
They cannot oppose a dictatorship, because that means death, because they will be killed. So they keep smiling. I mean, it's a joke. Have you seen the photos? These old guys with medals hanging down there.
All the way.
I mean, it's
and
all
crying like a baby.
It's all ridiculous. And it's a very carefully orchestrated scenario there. 26 million inhabitants of North Korea will be happy to get rid of this guy. They're just living in fear. And we are living in fear here, because the media tells us, Chicago is going to be bombed.
In other words, if, we're not only doing ourselves a favor, we're doing the North Korean people a favor if we go ahead and assassinate him.
For sure. For sure.
Okay. What would Russia take
Nothing.
if we conduct the assassination?
Nothing. Russia would be happy, because you see, Russia
will welcome that?
Yes, because you see, Russia, we forget one thing. Russia has a lot of eternal problems. It would be much more to the advantage of Mr. Putin, who does have a very high approval rating among the Russian people. Still, if the economy, but the economy is not very good, because Russia is still, if you compare Russia and China, interestingly enough, China is far more developed than Russia, far more advanced.
Yeah, that's true.
And even though Russia is had been, as a European nation, had been access to European thought pattern and is a European culture.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it is also wrong and very wrong in the media here to constantly vilify Russia, because what Putin has done, what Putin has done in Syria is the right way. What America has done in Syria is the wrong way. America has destroyed the Middle East, and it is a joke when you see that what is going on now. Because the Saudis are now fearing for their because they're camel drivers. 100 years ago, they were Bedouins. They had no idea. Now they're king again by themselves. They made themselves king.
All right.
It's all ridiculous. It's all ridiculous, and it doesn't make sense.
So at the end of the last segment, you mentioned one thing. The only best solution would be that United States, China, and Russia, the three get together to make some decisions to change the situation.
For example.
All right.
That's one example.
Let's take a short moment out, and I'll leave your example to next segment. Today with me is my good friend Chris Nebe, a wonderful director, famous director of Hollywood, Monrex Hollywood, with a huge credit of big monument. And he himself is a researcher and is an archive person, digging lots of archive information for the films that I adore a lot. And also conceptually, he's got a very lovely set of mind. So my brother kind of friend. Let's take a very short moment out. When we come back, let's see his example. Right? So stay with us.
Sure.
Hello, dear friends, my dear fellow Americans. Welcome back to the discussion about how we want to deal with North Korea. North Korea is being a big head scratcher for everyone, especially for us United States, for us Americans. We like peace, but sometimes when peace is endangered, we really want to do something to stop the worst from happening. With their missiles, the latest that launched, could reach as far as Chicago, though, we really believe the situation has changed. With me today, my friend Chris Nebe. We discussed about the possibilities of ways of handling with North Korea. And it comes to a conclusion, almost conclusion, that compared to military attack, massive military attack, or strategic regional attack, those are not options, right? Okay. And the only thing remains triable or workable is assassination.
Strategic assassination, approved by China, Russia, and America.
You were saying that China, Russia, and America, the three big nations, got together, reaching some kind of agreement.
Right.
Right? So let's go ahead to take care of this guy.
Right.
Something like that.
Yes.
And then you were saying that 26 million of North Koreans will support it.
Will applaud.
Will applaud.
Yes. And they will be liberated. Because right now they're victims of a ruthless, totally...
All right. Okay. All right, good. To assassinate one guy like Osama bin Laden is one thing. Osama bin Laden happened many years after the war broke already. Take Saddam Hussein, for example. Saddam Hussein was hanged, not assassinated. Even that is the case, you have a government to deal with. government that you have to put up. You have to help put up, right? Do you think United States, after assassination, will be capable of going there to help them establish a democratic government?
No, unification.
Or even unification, North and South.
Unification. It could be nothing better for the North Koreans, like in East Germany. The East Germans are nowadays very happy that they're no longer in East Germany, but that they're in Germany and profit from the economy.
Yes. Unification. So, do you think the South would like the unification themselves?
Of course, because number one, it would be Korea as it always has been. North Korea, one country, one people, and it would be 76 million people.
I know.
Is a powerhouse. South Korea already is a technology powerhouse and doing very well.
I know.
And the Korean people are very industrious and highly intelligent people, as the South has proven.
There are mathematics you have to talk about. They have 51 million people.
Right.
Added all of a sudden 26 million, and you're talking about adding half of their population. Right?
Yes, but an totally impoverished section. There are 26 million new consumers from refrigerator, from TV, from everything. It's a powerhouse. It's positive for them.
You're saying that
and positive
will be.
for the South.
You're saying that it will be self-supportive.
It's a classic win-win situation.
Could be a situation that not only stop the nuclear program, right, but also unifies North and South, and then get Russia, China, and the U.S., all the three major countries on board.
And that's something which should be the aim of in America. But America doesn't have that aim, because America plays China against Russia, Russia against China. This thinking is over. Today we must think in cooperation.
You're talking about China. United States is fond of dealing with one-on-one situation.
Right. Think of the wonderful.
As a matter of fact, could be one or two, could be one or two, could be three altogether. Right?
It should be three altogether. Think of the wonderful, advanced, and so classic Chinese philosophy, creating win-win situations in peace and harmony.
One last thing remaining: if the North and the South unites after the assassination, after the guy is gone for whatever, right? Do you think who will be the controller, the master of the existing nuclear programs?
It should be dismantled. It should be dismantled.
Dismantle is one thing. South Korea will take it over, right?
I don't think. I think we should stop thinking nuclear anyhow, because nuclear is the kiss of death. You shoot me, I shoot you, we're both dead.
Yeah, we're both dead, yeah.
So it makes no sense. It made a certain sense when there was the Cold War, when there were two blocks, but now everybody has it. Pakistan has so many. Everybody has. It's no longer.
My concern is that if the South Korean government or whatever after unification decided to keep it, though, now you have another problem altogether. Instead of North Korean has the nuclear power, you're talking about South Korea has nuclear power.
No, I think it should be a foregone conclusion that if these three nations get together, assassinate the guy, unify Korea, it should be the nuclear capability of the North should be dismantled and over and out. As a matter of fact, we should dismantle unilateral nuclear because it's foolish. We are already poisoning ourselves with climate warming, with
climate change, climate warming,
change,
yes.
and all these things. Now on top of it, we are talking about destruction. I mean, do we really want to self-destruct? It's over. All these wars and this small thinking is over. You have to think big. Why is America investing a fortune instead of putting a huge amount of money into the defense budget? For what? While the infrastructure is crumbling. Name me one project since the President Trump has become president which has concerned the infrastructure in America, a major infrastructure project. There's none. And that brings work to people. That brings people, the blue-collar people who have lost their jobs because they have become too expensive, and overseas we're producing the things cheaper. That brings the country up again. Nothing happening. Always
Then we
talking
go back.
about other things.
Yeah. Then we go back to Donald Trump's short statement talking about if you do not stop, you're going to see something never seen before. That statement, could that be a disguise or something in cover of the assassination being planned?
No, if it is, he should say it. He should say it very loud and clear. Russia and China and America, we are now going together and we will decide how to assassinate you. Tell it to the guy. And he's,
Would that trigger the guy press the button to fire the first shot?
No, but then he will still die. So he fires the first shot, he will still die. The only way for him is to either shut up and stop this bullshit or die. There's no other solution. And you see, there is not 26 million North Koreans are not behind this man. They're only saying, giving lip service because they're afraid. Fear is what this man rules with. Here, also, we are ruled by fear because we are said, oh, they're going to shoot you. It's all, it's all a very childish game, actually, which is being played and doesn't make sense.
There's another situation, another issue that causes attention or need to be noticed was that domestically we have those military guys. I mean, the weapon industry.
Yeah.
Weapon industry. They, after the war of Iraq, of Afghanistan came to end, though, their production come to a surplus. They have to consume the surplus part, right? Now, if we still want to do that as stimulant to the economy, though, probably Donald Trump would create something with assassination combined attack. Do you think that's another option? Probably they can shoot the very north part of North Korea.
No, I think any kind of conventional military action is a disaster for North and South Korea, and also to a certain degree to China, because you cannot say, oh, here is the border, now I put a bomb here. Now in Manchuria, Dongbei is not being influenced. This is, you see, Jack, don't forget, this is not new. The grandfather had that, the father had that, and now the son continues. This is just the way these guys keep in power, and
after all, he is only remainder of that system on Earth. Everybody is reforming themselves.
Right, that's it.
Everybody is changing. That's the guy not changing.
Right.
Right. And that's the concept. And their whole system needs to be crashed.
Yes, and unification. Unification between the two Koreas should be the aim, and it should be supported by China, Russia, and America.
Conclusion to resolve the problem is that assassination followed by unification.
That's it.
That takes care of the whole thing.
Right.
Am I right? Good. Very good. Very nice discussion. And I'm so glad, even though we are over time, we found a way of dealing with North Korea. Well, it makes lots of sense, and credit goes to my friend Chris Nibby, famous director of Hollywood, Monterey Hollywood, and with a monument of lots of wins of awards. So his analysis to war, his analysis and options or conclusions for dealing with North Korea is quite acceptable to me, at least. So thank you very much, my dear friends, and to my friend Chris Nibby, thank you very much.
非常好，谢谢你，
Good.
哎呀妈呀！
Ayamaya. All right, all right, we'll see you, Ayamaya.